Mabuhay. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. My channel is about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. So sometimes I have to get into some serious things for people that are married. And I'd like you to subscribe here and be ready to leave a comment on this video. This topic here about how to know if you're Filipina, her behavior towards you is real or fake, can apply to people who are just beginning to date anybody, also to being married to that person and seeing how they're like after a while. I think early on in any relationship, it's possible for both the man and the woman to kind of maybe, cover up some things, not show their true identity. This comes from an article written by Lucas Graham. Excuse me, I've mentioned him before. This comes from geediting.com, which I guess stands for Global English Editing, and now I know. And his articles is people who are only nice to you when they need something usually describe these 9 distinct behaviors. So this can apply, and see for yourself how it can apply to dating a Filipina. And so they talk about there being a significant difference between genuine kindness and being nice only when it suits your needs. Have you noticed that before? And this distinction boils down to consistency. They say people who are only nice to you when they need something often mask their true motives, hiding behind a veil of temporary politeness. Contrarily, genuinely kind individuals maintain their demeanor regardless of the situation or their personal desires. Unfortunately, distinguishing between these two types can be challenging. It's essential to be aware of certain behaviors that might indicate someone is only being nice to you when they need something from you. Number 1 here, in the time I have, is inconsistency in behavior. Have you noticed this if you're online or with a Filipina or a woman from anywhere? This doesn't have to have anything to do with women from the Philippines. That's my elbow there. I'm not passing gas. It's crucial to observe the consistency in people's behavior over time. People who are only nice when they need something tend to have significant fluctuation in their demeanor. They can be extremely friendly one day, entirely aloof the next. This inconsistency, they say, according to this article, is a telltale sign, because genuine kindness does not waver, based on circumstances or personal needs. So when you notice drastic changes in someone's behavior toward you, depending on their needs, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship with them. But remember, everyone has, off days. So don't rush to conclusions based on isolated incidents. Look for consistent patterns over time to get a clearer picture. Number 2, they're overly sweet when asking for favors. And they say, they talk about a workmate they had named Mark, who's usually quiet and kept to himself most days, but then he had a habit of becoming excessively friendly when he needed help with a task. Have you seen that in your relationship? And that one day, he'd be all laughs and jokes, going out of his way to engage in conversation or offer him a cup of coffee. But then they realized these were the days when he needed something from him, like help on a project or covering his shift. And so if you notice somebody becoming unusually sweet and friendly out of the blue, especially when they're about to ask a favor, be aware it could be a sign they're only being nice to you when they need something from you. Number 3, watch out for this one. They rarely initiate interaction. Interestingly, they say individuals who are only nice when they need something often wait for you to initiate interaction. They're not usually the ones to start a conversation or reach out unless there's something in it for them. Research supports this observation too. A study found that individuals with manipulative tendencies are less likely to engage in social interactions unless they believe there's something beneficial for them. So if you're often the one initiating contact or conversation while they only seem interested when there's a favor on the horizon, might be an indicator of their true intentions. Number 4, they're seldom genuinely interested in your life. lack of genuine interest in your life. People who are only nice when they need something often show little curiosity about your personal experiences or feelings unless it serves their purpose. For example, they might ask about your weekend only as a lead-in for a favor. Or they may inquire about your family just to appear more friendly and approachable when they're about to request something. True kindness involves empathy and a genuine interest in others' well-being. If their interest seems conditional or tied to their needs, it could be a sign that their niceness isn't all that genuine. And this is me talking, you want to know that if you're about to invest in a relationship with someone thousands of miles away. Number 5, they often forget their wallet. Forget their wallet. Classic behavior of people who are only nice when they need something is conveniently forgetting their wallet or coming up short when it's time to pay. Oh my, I forgot my wallet at home. How clumsy of me. Do you think you can pay for this? And these individuals might offer to go out for coffee or lunch, and then when the bill comes, they suddenly realize they left their wallet at home, just don't have enough cash on them. Another one here, 6, they're absent during your tough times. Boy, I like this one. Life is a roller coaster, okay, with its share of ups and downs, and true friends and genuinely kind people stick by your side through it all, sharing in your joys, lending a shoulder during your sorrows. However, people are only nice when they need something, tend to be noticeably absent during your tough times. They're there when they need support, but when you're going through a rough patch, could use a friend, they're often nowhere to be found. And it's heartbreaking to realize that someone's kindness was merely a facade. But remember, genuine friendships are not one-sided. If someone only shows up in your life when they need something, their intentions might not be as pure as it seems. So I just realized that this can go both ways. It could be the foreigner with the Filipina. Maybe he's a little bit not genuine in his behavior. Maybe it's not her. It could go both ways. 7, they rarely reciprocate your kindness. There's always an amount of give and take in a relationship. People who are only nice when they need something balance off tips in their behavior. Number 8, they're quick to take credit. Another common behavior of those who are nice when they need something is their tendency to take credit, especially in a group or work setting. They may be all smiles and cooperation when they need your help on a project, but once it's complete, they're quick to claim the credit for its success. Stepping into the limelight and taking credit that isn't solely theirs is often a sign that their niceness was merely a means to an end. They were friendly and cooperative, not out of genuine kindness, but because they needed your input to achieve their objectives. Number 9, they disappear once they get what they want. You've heard about this with men, for example. They get the sex and they're gone, despite all the wonderful flowery things that they had to say. Or the woman gets the baby and she's gone. Everything was just, phony to try to get what she wanted. So disappearing once they get what they want. They say here, perhaps the most telling sign of all is when someone disappears when they've gotten what they wanted. After the favor is done, the project completed, problem solved, their niceness evaporates. They're suddenly too busy or unavailable. And this behavior is a clear indication that their niceness was merely a tactic to achieve their goals. Once these goals are met, they no longer need to maintain the presence of being nice. So I'm going to run out of time here. Leave a comment, subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I just want to talk about things that you might want to think about that you ordinarily might not think about before you look for finding love beyond the sea.